There is a gender dimension to every issue, work or context. So the first thing to do is to get the reality right and understand the gender relations. And when you do that, you apply the lens of equal representation, equal rights and resources for both women and men.
When you think about where climate budgeting and climate finance goes, it's going towards interventions and investments which are designed to build resilience, to build adaptive capacity to climate change. And the people in those particular groups, whether they are women or indigenous people, people from lower socioeconomic groups, people from lower castes, those are the people who are feeling those effects of climate change first and most acutely.
Linking gender equality and climate change financing is a very important issue, not only because women are affected when natural disasters strike, but because they're also powerful agents of change when it comes to the mitigation and adaptation efforts.
It's increasingly important for countries and other entities that are hoping to attract climate finance to address gender issues, in part because of the requirements from those funding agencies, but also as an understanding of gender's importance to climate grows within those bodies of government and other non-governmental entities.
In order to address some of these issues, I think we need to take a good hard look at some of the social structures that we build our budgets on, and then also building the capacity, as I said, of national governments and counterparts to be able to plan and budget so that men, women, girls and boys have equal benefits from our work on climate change finance.
It's very good that the systems are being developed for climate finance to help the people who really need that kind of help. But we need also to, in parallel, develop monitoring mechanisms to see whether they are really reaching out to the marginalized communities like women, like the disabled, like the old and the infirm. And this is where we need to the policy makers need to sit down and bring both of these things together.
To better address climate change, we need to address social and gender inequality.
So if we can leverage gender equality interventions for development, then we'll be not only achieving gender equality, but we'll be achieving many of the elements of the 2030 agenda and many of the targets in SDGs.
The energy sector has to look at it from an economic perspective and a women's perspective, and bringing that down onto the ground would mean that you would have greener economic opportunities. So you have a mitigation potential here, you also have an enhancing of the capabilities of women and enhancing their resilience and adaptive capacities. So you sort of bring everything together, and I think this is where we need to capture the opportunity of investment for financing that is coming in.
Many governments throughout the Asia and the Pacific have been mainstreaming both or attempting to mainstream climate and gender in their budget systems, and with a lot of innovation and a lot of roadblocks along the way. And so one of the things that we would encourage is to bring these two things together. That if you're trying to do them separately, that you're missing a lot of opportunities on the one hand to maximize the leverage, maximize the investments that the public sector is making.